Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hope you're having a good day whenever you catch this video. Good night. Sorry for the noise in the background. It's raining pretty good right now as I'm heading on my way to work this morning. So, hey guys, I wanted to do a kind of an add-on video or a reinforcement video of one I did the other day, talking about evolution theory and the fact that it is an outdated theory that they're still teaching our kids in school. It has been passed by light years with the understanding of DNA and the new theories of quantum mechanics, quantum physics, and the human interface in with the quantum field. Not to mention, back in Darwin's time, you know, obviously he had no concept of DNA. He had no concept of quantum physics, genetics, advanced biology. We could go on and on and on. Darwin was he was basing his theories on what he's seen. And I'm not hating on Darwin. Look, he was just a guy trying to figure out this world like we all are. He was a scientist. At the time, his thinking was revolutionary. However, he was building a theory based on micro adaptations within a species blueprint. And he was trying to figure out how that adaptation could be, I guess, a framework for total evolution on Earth, for evolution of species and plants. And however, when you actually understand DNA, and you understand that DNA is a coding, it is a coding. In fact, you can even break down everything on Earth to a binary code, ones and zeros, just by the protons and the electrons and the protons. You know, negative and positive, right? This is a dualistic world. Everything in this world is designed on this dualistic system of negative and positive, ones and zeros. DNA is just the advanced coding of each blueprint, of each species, of every living thing on Earth. He didn't understand any of that. There was no concept of that. So they're teaching your children a theory that's over 100 years old. That's completely outdated. I guarantee you they are not teaching your kids quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I know, because I ask my son all the time. I've been teaching him these things. And no, they don't talk about any of that. Now, I'm not saying there's no universities that do. Obviously, MIT, there's other advanced science, institutions around the world, not just the United States, obviously. Probably more advanced in China and Japan and South Korea at the moment than we have here even. But they are teaching those things. And those are the scientists that are on the cutting edge of finally making the connection between the spirit realm and this third dimensional realm. Because this world is an imitation of the spirit realm. Everything that we are trying to build here, technology-wise, is a poor imitation of what is freely available to everyone in the spirit realm. And by spirit realm, people, I'm just using that as a general term because we live in a multi-dimensional creation, and Earth is only one realm of that creation. Multiple realms, multiple dimensions. Earth is the playground. Earth is the you could call it the school. You could call it the university, I guess, for more advanced spirits that have come here maybe more times and that have a deeper understanding or more of an enlightenment of what this construct is. Now, I'm talking about a lot of stuff that most of your mainstream scientists will not touch because they are highly compartmentalized, and the field of study that they specialize in is highly controlled. They don't step out of the bounds of this compartmentalization, because staying within that compartmentalization of what they study is how they get funding from the government and from private donors, from corporations that fund them and such. And they have to get their white papers reviewed and okayed by their peers, right? By other people within their fields. And if they start going, outside of the bounds of that compartmentalization, they get no funding and they get laughed at, and their papers get laughed at. So to eat, to survive, to move on in their field and continue to get funded, and to feel like they've accomplished something by having their papers reviewed, peer reviewed, they have to toe the line. So let's set that all aside, okay, people? Because look, there are rebel scientists out there, and I love those types. The ones that break the rules. The ones that break the rules are the Borgs, are the Teslas. They're the ones that can't be controlled, and they go outside of what is institutionally allowed or recognized. Now, Darwin, hey, I have nothing personal against the guy. I mean, I know a lot of people on the right, they probably look at him as like a devil or something, bringing in this false doctrine against the Bible and stuff. Well, I'm not coming at Darwin like that, okay? So I know I get some people that's like, they get really upset about this because their whole life they've been fed this Darwin style evolution BS. And so I understand why you'll get upset if I say anything about your religious, beliefs. And you'll laugh and say, that's not religion. Oh, yes, it is. Trust me. A lot of your science is just information that's been passed down by the mystery schools for thousands of years. We're just relearning this information. Quantum mechanics, go read the Nag Hammadi. That's over 2,000 years old, or about 2,000 years old. I mean, most of those books, they range from, 100 BC to about 100 AD in there. Some older and some maybe a little newer, but that's roughly the time zone on the writings in the Nag Hammadi. Go read it. The Demiurge, who controls this world, who the Bible calls the devil. Him and his archons, you could call the archons demons, angels, Anunnaki, watchers, whatever you want to call them. The Muslims would call them the jinn, the genies. They all understood that this is an illusion we're living in. They understood that it's an artificial construct. It's a simulation. Now you could go further back. The Book of the Dead, the Egyptians, they understood this too. They understood that the human spirit connection to the spirit realms in the illusion of this world. Now you could go further back to the Sanskrit, to the Hindu Vedic texts. Same thing, they called it the illusion. Maya. we've known about quantum physics for a long time. It's nothing new under the sun here, people. It's just that first they brought us a theory that tried to base everything off of what you see with your eyes, right? What you can measure physically, right? Isn't that what science is all about? That's what they teach you. I mean, that's the old way of thinking of science, but that's what they taught you in schools. It's what you can measure, what you can look at, what you can weigh, what all these physical means of dissecting something, of observing something. Well, that's all Darwin was doing. He was just looking at adaptations of plants and birds. Like, oh my God, this bird species, there's different kinds, different colorings. Oh my God, it's evolution. No, it's called adaptation, people. And yes, adaptation can go down to the genetic level, to the DNA level. It's obviously genetics, DNA it's all connected with the quantum field. It's part of the interface. So, we've been taught this totally physical representation of the world. And someone like Darwin had no way to understand the metaphysical side of this world. And obviously, he didn't read these ancient texts. But I'm not hating on Darwin. Look, he was doing the best he had. He noticed that there were the same, types, species, that there were different colorings in different biomes. But it was the same creature, right? The same species. What I call this is the species blueprint. Like, you have the bird blueprint. You have the canine blueprint. The feline blueprint. The human blueprint. Now, within the blueprint, you're talking about millions, billions, if not trillions of variations that are possible within the blueprint, the species blueprint. Please, people, I love you guys. I know I had some banter with one of my friends, that's followed Exit the Matrix for quite a while, and he sent me a video kind of, disputing my views on this, and that's fine. He's got his viewpoint on this, and he's very intelligent, and he was trying to take me to school on natural selection and stuff, but I'm not saying anything about natural selection. Yes, natural selection is real on a micro level, on an adaptation level, but it is only able to happen within the species blueprint, which means you have birds of every single type and variation, even within, like, let's say a subcategory of a bird, like say a specific type of bird, like a vulture. You've got many different versions of vultures, different structure to their bodies, different colorings, different adaptations, different wingspans. However, a vulture, no matter what kind, a California vulture, a condor, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to name all the names here. We have a different vulture out here in North Carolina too. And they're pretty big too. Not, maybe not the largest vulture in the United States, but one of the largest. But my point is that it's still a bird. It's still in the bird blueprint. Same with canines. A pug is still in the same blueprint as an Arctic fox. Totally different variations. I mean, can you go any farther apart than those two canines? It's still a canine, people. There is no evolution of one species blueprint turning into another species blueprint. There is no proof ever been witnessed or found of one species blueprint becoming another. They've never found the in-between, right? There's got to be an in-between species if that happens, right? Like how they say that humans came from monkeys, right? Well, you know, right, that we have a different amount of chromosomes than primates do. Now, we're very similar, but very far apart at the same time. There is no direct link. Were there other types of humanoids on the earth? Yes. Yes, there were. Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, Denisovan. I mean, there's been hundreds of species of humanoids found on the earth. Now, a lot of people would say we came from those. The human species evolved from those. And I would say no, we did not. Unless those were within the same humanoid blueprint that perhaps we're in. Then yes, I would say that, okay, we are a more advanced adaptation then of that same humanoid, upright, walking creature. However, if you read the ancient texts, the Sumerian cuneiform, I mean, you can basically look at any of the ancient writings. Book of Enoch. They all explain how the Watchers, the gods, the Anuna came to Earth and they manipulated, hybridized the human species. They did not create humans from nothing. There were already humanoids on the earth. There were different types of humanoids on the earth. And they genetically modified perhaps they took some DNA from multiple species, or perhaps they just happened to help the adaptation along through genetic manipulation. But regardless, humans and primates are not in the same species blueprint. I mean, these scientists, they want you to believe in their fairy tales. It's funny because people on the left, people that are agnostic or atheists, they always just rag on Christians and, you know, Jews and Hindus and all these other religions, Muslims and such, laughing at them about their belief in God creating humans, right? In all these fairy tales of religion. Hey, and look, you guys know I tear apart a lot of these texts, okay? You know, basically you got ancient sun worship is what most religions are. Or Anunnaki worship, Anuna worship, or a mixture of both. But these people that are atheists and stuff, they're part of a cult. They believe in a religion too. They believe in something that cannot be proven, at least by the way that their science is teaching. I mean, they're teaching you, these people, most of them all believe in the fairy tale of Darwin evolution. They all believe in the Big Bang Theory. No proof of any of this, just like black holes, no proof. Just mathematics and theories, that's it. Now, I'm not saying there aren't black holes. And I'm not saying that, you know, maybe there was some kind of, the spark of divinity was the Big Bang, the spark of consciousness. But there's no way to prove any of that. They believe it just like the same as a Christian that has never seen God, that has never talked to God. Maybe they think they talk to God in their head. That could be their higher self. It could be the source. I'm not saying it isn't. But it's still, I mean, you can't prove it. It's still, you got to go by faith, right? Well, that's what these atheists do. They believe in these fairy tales, just like Just like people believe in these religious fairy tales. And just like everything, there's truth and there's things not true within what they believe. So, do I believe in evolution? Yes, on a micro adaptation level within a species blueprint. Do I believe in evolution, cross-species evolution? No, absolutely not. Now, people are going to say, okay, then what about new species that have been discovered, that have never been known before? Because we're finding new species. Scientists are, biologists, basically on a daily level. We're finding new, anything from microorganisms to, larger animals. So here's the thing, people. I've been talking about, just like I alluded to earlier in this video, Maya, the illusion, the matrix that the archons and the demiurge rule over this world, the matrix, that we've come to understand through quantum physics that we live in. It's a simulation, people. It's a simulation of the spirit realm. And it's a hell of a simulation. I mean, when you're here, you believe this is the only reality, right? I mean, you left your home, you entered this simulation, and you believe this is it. I mean, you can't believe anything else. Unless you believe in heaven or hell or, different things like that. But most people haven't made the connection that this is a simulation. And the other realms the realm you come from, your conscious energy realm, is more real than this. This is the simulation. It's a copy of that world. And it's a corrupt copy because in that realm, there's pure consciousness and love. There is no duality like there is here. That's why we come to Earth. It's to experience the duality. We come here, we choose to go through the heartache. We choose to go through the pain, through the chaos of this world. It was our choice from the beginning. We chose to come here. And it's not one trip and you make a mistake, you go to hell. No. We've come here many, many times. I hope some of this is sinking in with you. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me on this. Either way, right? But think of this. You have a simulation. We have DNA coding, computer coding, binary coding, mathematical coding in this construct. You could look at energy particles as like bits in a computer, right? Think of a computer game like Minecraft. You break all that down, what is it, 16-bit, 32-bit, whatever. Everything's built on these little bits, little computer bits, programming bits. Well, what the hell do you think protons, electrons, and neutrons are? And other subatomic particles. Those aren't the only subatomic particles. There's probably so many levels deeper than even that we haven't even uncovered because we don't have the technological means. But it's all, once you go deeper, once you go more inside the construct, you find out it's all illusion. It's all just energy, conscious energy particles, people. There is no physical. It's all an illusion. It's all a computer program. And so think about this. You have new species. I'm talking new species here. I'm not talking adaptations within a blueprint. Think just like a computer game. They have updates. They add new characters. They add new species, new background animals into the game. They add new, playable characters, new skins, new lands, they upgrade sometimes the older games like Skyrim that have been around forever. They update the rendering and the game, the graphics a little bit, make it a little better. So think about this. If this is a simulation, and I believe it is a type of simulation, and think about the Watchers, the Anuna, the ones that manage this world, the Archons, whatever you want to call them, perhaps this simulation gets updated, just like a computer game. There's updates. Sometimes new species are added. They're seeded. through the quantum field into this world. Now, that would be a way that a whole new species could be added. Now think about this. The Earth has been through many resets. I'm talking about catastrophic resets, the Younger Dryas and, the Great Flood and such. Perhaps even this mud flood that we've been hearing a lot about. And when you have a mass die-off of species getting wiped out, but all of a sudden there's always new species that arrive that they'll say that, they survived some of their DNA, from the dinosaurs or this or that. Think about this, people. The simulation probably gets a reset every now and then, just like a computer does. If you run your computer nonstop and you never let it cool down and turn off, and it can be detrimental. You'll burn out your computer, You'll have to be replacing your computer. You're going to burn the fans out. You're going to fry the motherboard eventually. Your PlayStation, same thing. You've got to turn them off every now and then. You got to let them cool down. You got to let them... A lot of times when you reboot something, there's updates and stuff that will go back in there and they'll the programming changes a little bit. Things get fixed and patched, right? Well, think about this Earth. Is it so hard to believe that it could be the same exact thing? If this is a simulation, then it's obvious that there's got to be some kind of maintenance on the simulation, right? So you're going to have updates. You're going to have resets. It's just part of it. And I think that the elite right now, all the craziness going on, this is just a theory I have. One of my theories. I think they know that the Earth goes in cycles. And we know this because Göbekli Tepe, many of the Tepe locations in the ancient parts of Turkey, those are types of calendars. They're types of astrological clocks that they were building, just like the Maya were doing with the Mayan calendar. They understand that the Earth goes through cycles. The Hindus know this. The Yuga cycles, right? So we go through cycles. The Earth is set up like a clock. It's so apparent. That's why all the religions, most of your ancient religions is sun worship and astrological or astrotheology. Okay? And there's a reason for this, because the Earth goes through cycles. It has to be, the simulation has to be reset. You have to do it sometimes. Things get out of control here. Think about what it said in the book of Enoch about the pre-Diluvian world, where the Watchers came down and they started manipulating genetics, where all the genetics of the world were being manipulated, plants, animals, and even humans. And everything was corrupted. Well, what do you think our scientists are doing right now? Same damn thing. Same exact thing. And I think what the elite know is that we're coming to the end of this cycle. And I think that's why they keep saying the Great Reset, right? I think they understand that most of the world is going to be wiped out, the world's population, either by their means or by some kind of catastrophic reset. And they know it's coming. And they were trying to warn us, Göbekli Tepe. There's a reason why they buried Göbekli Tepe. Because they were trying to bury it for future generations to uncover, to unlock the key to understand when that reset was going to happen, so that humanity could prepare and try to survive, have as many survive as possible through that catastrophic event. And I think that is what is truly going on. All the underground bunkers, all of these underground bases that our governments have been black funding for many years, that go miles and miles. And this is every country on earth pretty much, at least the governments that have the monetary means and the technological means to do it. They are building these underground networks all over the world. They're preparing for something, people. And I think all this COVID and all this other stuff has all been part of some kind of illusion that they're weaving around us so that we're not seeing what's truly happening. I think you're going to start seeing food shortages, because what do you got to do when you prepare all these underground bunkers in cities, right? You got to start storing food. They're going to start siphoning off, and perhaps they've already been doing this for a long, long time. Think of all the supposed food that the Western worlds send as aid to other countries, and then you always hear that there's really not as much food that shows up, and they always blame it on, well, it's probably the warlords that took all the food, and they sell it back to the people at a premium, and there's a lot of that goes on because, let's be real, every power organization is corrupt, right? It don't matter what country it's in. Don't matter if it's a warlord, a little tribal chief, or if it's a freaking president or a prime minister. They're all corrupt. But I would not be surprised if a lot of that so-called foreign aid food, foreign aid, is actually going into these underground bunkers, and they're preparing. And you know what they're going to do, people? They're going to let your asses burn. Burn, drown, radiated, whatever the hell is going to happen here. And you know what, people? So be it, right? We've been here many times. I mean, if you've ever followed NDEs or OBEs, they're what they talk about. There's nothing to fear, people. See, that's the thing. You fear death, right? We all do. But then, yet, when we cross over, we're like, holy crap. The only thing to fear was going to that place. That's where the fear was, right? On earth. That realm. The realm of duality. There's no fear in the spirit realm. You don't have to worry about, the worries we have here about putting food on the plate, about having to go work a job like a damn hamster, and your money is being, your currency, your energy is being devalued as you work your ass off trying to keep up with things, right? And your food keeps doubling in price and all. In the spirit realm, you manifest what you need because we're pure, divine, conscious energy beings. We are directly connected to source. There is no separation from God. We are essentially God because we're the children of God. We're the sparks of God. We are fragments of God experiencing its creation from every possible prism, fractal point of view you can imagine. And they want you afraid. You know what? If today a meteor came out of nowhere, hit the earth, wiped out most of the world, we'd be gone, right? Vaporized. So be it. We're all going to show up on the other side. We're all going to laugh about this like, holy crap. That simulation was insane. Let's load up the next one, right? I mean, can you believe the way that all ended? And can you believe those people actually think that the ones still there on Earth hiding out in their bunkers? Hey, man, we're up here in heaven, man. We're having flaming, we're having the greatest steak, I can manifest, amazing food you couldn't even find on Earth. I can manifest whatever type of dwelling I want to live in. I can go see all my loved ones that have passed away. We're all here now. Maybe you have an uncle or aunt that was a scientist or a politician, a lawyer, one of those real important type people that got let in those bunkers, right? Oh, they might not be with us, right? Oh, well, who cares, right? They're still in the simulation, and they're down there thinking they're going to, survive all that out, right? Well, they might, and that might be how humanity carries on to the next download or update, right? If you can understand the cycles of this earth and the fact that this earth is like a timepiece, and it was created that way for the simulation, So, outside of this, there is no such thing as time. That's a construct of this simulation. So anyways, guys, I got to go in. I've been kind of, sitting here for a little bit at work. I'd love to just keep going on and on about this. So please understand, I believe in evolution as far as a microevolution adaptation within a species blueprint. However, evolution, cross-species evolution, absolutely not. They're teaching your kids that stuff still, that we come from pond scum and eventually from monkeys and all that. That's all nonsense, people. In a simulation, you don't need a billion-year-old evolution of micro mutations and such. Hell no. You mean to tell me the vast array of this earth, the vast, just Dude, go get a magnifying glass, go in your yard and look at one little tiny piece of area. There's so many, it's like a micro world right there in front of you. And you think all this just came by luck, by chance, by mutation, over billions of years. BS, people. It's because this is a simulation and it gets updated. It gets terraformed. Okay? And we do it so that we can come experience this physical reality, which is still an illusion, but it's a strong illusion, right? And we come here to experience love and hate, ecstasy and sorrow, all of the variations of emotions that perhaps in the other realm you don't experience. That's what it's all about, the experience, right? Think about it. Do you always, if you're in the spirit realm, you probably get bored after a while because everything you have, everything you need, right? Even though you're in pure love, you're bathed in God's like love and light all the time. You want for nothing, no worries. You get bored. So you want to go torture yourself. Well, time to go to Earth, right? You get in line with the other spirits and you wait for that portal to open, which is that inception point of the sperm into the egg. There's the flash of light. Scientists have caught it. That's the inception point of the conscious energy into that egg, into that beginning of the baby. And I know they like to tell you it's not really a human until so many months. Bullshit, dude. When that spark of light happens at the inception of the sperm into the egg, that conscious energy is now residing in that egg, and it's in that beginning of that baby, and maybe you're dreaming the whole time you're there. You're in a grand dream until you pop out and your eyes open, right? Through the portal. The woman is the portal into this realm. And perhaps beings come here, not through the woman portal, and because of that, they can create a lot of havoc in this world because they know what they are. They come from the spirit realm. They know their abilities, and they know how they can manipulate this world. We come in here getting mind wiped and not knowing our abilities and not understanding what this is. And our whole lives, we try to figure it out, right? So imagine what an entity could do that comes directly here. The fallen angels, right? In the Bible, or the watchers that instead of watching and protecting this simulation, this construct, this realm, they came down and wanted to manipulate it and wanted to masquerade as gods. The Anuna. Remember it says in the Sumerian text, the tablets tell you that the gods taught humans civilization. You know? That they taught them how to fish, they taught them how to animal husbandry, how to raise crops, how to build weapons, how to even do makeup, how to make beer. First beer recipe ever, people. Handed down by the gods in the Sumerian tablets. So, hey, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. I really got to go. But I hope this clears things up for you. And I know a lot of you aren't going to agree with me, and that's fine because, this is pretty heavy stuff. And it doesn't matter if you're looking at it from a religious point of view or a scientific point of view, scientific indoctrination point of view. It's going to really hammer you, and you're going to right away, you're going to put a shield up and be like, nope, this is not real. This goes against everything I've been told, right? My programming, oh, that's what it is, people. But if you truly meditate on what I just talked about, all this whole video, and I think you're going to start seeing the glimmerings of enlightenment, because I'm just telling you that this is straight from my spirit, and I know in my heart that what I'm telling you is true. Now, every little detail I could be off on, but I think for the most part, the main theory I have about the blueprint species theory is sound. It makes sense. Tied in with the simulation, with quantum physics, and everything else that I talked about. So, hey, anyways, guys, I love you guys. I'd love to hear your comments. Please comment. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm getting super throttled on Facebook like usual. They're trying to ban my page. They even had to relent and drop off some things because they just totally came up with BS. They're just doing everything they can. It's an all-out war on enlightenment right now. And it's pure censorship we live in right now. So you guys can help us break through that. And I got some things coming up I'm going to probably announce here next week. And I think some of you might be interested in what I want to do. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.